I think the Iranians, I do not know this for sure, but they could receive information not only from our satellite but also from others, from commercial ones, which easily and simply implement this as a product on a commercial basis. As for weapons, Iran did not ask us for this, and we did not supply any weapons to Iran.
Trump's friend in Moscow says Iran never asked for weapons and Russia never supplied any, even as reports claim a US-designated terror force is quietly preparing to receive frontline fighter jets. The air armada nobody saw coming may now be taking shape, with Iran's Revolutionary Guard reportedly set for its biggest leap yet from legacy ground attack aircraft to modern long-range fighters. As tensions spike across the Gulf and Levant, Iran's Revolutionary Guard appears to be preparing to take flight with Russian-built warplanes, turning a mostly ground-focused force into something much more flexible. A dozen new jets and 1,000 new questions now hang over the region, as analysts ask what exactly Moscow is preparing Iran's most hardline force for in the skies. Even as Putin publicly denies sending weapons to Tehran, reports of Su-30SM2s heading toward Mojtaba's forces suggest a different story, one in which deniability and delivery move in parallel. Amid a new round of tensions between Iran and the West, Iran's Revolutionary Guard is reportedly on track to receive its own dedicated long-range fighter jets, giving the force independent reach far beyond Iran's borders. Russian defense-linked sources say Iran has ordered 12 Su-30SM2 fighter jets, according to specialist reporting, signaling a significant expansion of Tehran's high-end aviation arsenal. The aircraft are expected to arrive second-hand from Russian Navy or Aerospace Forces units around 2027, implying that current Russian squadrons will give up jets to fulfill the Iranian order. Iran has already ordered dozens of Sukhoi 35s and is said to be eyeing Sukhoi 57s as well, creating questions about how it will manage such a diverse mix of Russian fighter types in maintenance and training. Analysts argue the Sukhoi 30SM2s are technically less capable than the Sukhoi 35s but may be tailored for the Revolutionary Guard's needs, focusing on ruggedness, multi-role flexibility, and ease of operation over cutting-edge performance. The Sukhoi 30SM2 is a twin-engine long-range fighter designed to perform both air superiority and precision strike roles, allowing it to switch between hunting enemy aircraft and hitting ground or sea targets. It carries a powerful radar suite and advanced multi-role combat systems, giving pilots the ability to track multiple targets and fight effectively in complex airspace. The jet can be armed with guided glide bombs, modern air-to-air missiles, and a range of air-to-ground munitions, making it a flexible platform for both offensive and defensive missions. It is compatible with electronic warfare pods, reconnaissance sensors, and targeting pods, letting the same airframe jam radars, collect intelligence, and direct precision strikes. The aircraft is designed for long-endurance sorties across vast operational distances, a key asset for a country like Iran that must cover large territory and distant front lines. In some configurations, the Sukhoi 30SM2 can serve as an airborne command and control node, coordinating other aircraft and drones during complex combat operations. The jet is built to operate from dispersed and relatively austere forward airfields when required, fitting the IRGC's doctrine of deploying assets across hardened or remote bases. It is considered rugged and combat-proven, and is generally seen as easier to maintain than Russia's newest stealth fighters, an important factor for sanctions-hit Iran. Operationally, it is viewed as less complex than the Sukhoi 35 or Sukhoi 57, which could make it more suitable for rapid introduction into IRGC service with limited pilot and technician pipelines. Reports suggest that the Sukhoi 30SM2s are earmarked not for Iran's regular air force but for the Revolutionary Guard itself, effectively giving Mojtaba's camp its own modern fighter wing. The IRGC already operates Sukhoi 22 strike jets and Sukhoi 25 ground attack aircraft in limited numbers, but these platforms are older, shorter-ranged, and far less sophisticated than the incoming Sukhois. Iran originally inherited many Sukhoi 22s from Iraq, after Iraqi pilots fled US bombing during the 1991 Gulf War and landed their aircraft on Iranian territory. Tehran initially struggled to use and maintain these jets but later upgraded them with outside help from Syria and Libya, slowly bringing them back into operational service. By 2018, around 10 Sukhoi 22s had been fitted with new Iranian avionics and given the ability to fire modern guided weapons, turning them into semi-modern strike platforms. These upgraded Sukhoi 22s can now launch air-launched cruise missiles and share targeting data with drones in the field, giving the IRGC a crude but functional manned-unmanned teaming capability. Even so, The underlying Sukhoi-17 and Sukhoi-22 design dates back to the 1970s and is now seen as badly outdated for distant, high-threat operations against modern air defenses. Replacing these aging jets with Su-30SM2s would represent a major leap, shifting the IRGC from maintaining relics to operating modern multi-role fighters capable of shaping battles across the region. All of this is unfolding even as Russia's president insists Iran never asked for weapons and Moscow has not supplied any, creating a sharp contrast between public denials and reported plans on the ground.
I don't see any provocations from Iran. It seems to me that at one time we agreed, adopted the relevant agreement on the Iranian nuclear program, and everything was under the IAEA control. But unfortunately, the situation then developed according to a different scenario that led to today's tragedy, to the strike on Iran, losses, including among the civilian population. We know this well that relations worsen between neighboring countries, which, of course, bothers us very much because we have very good, friendly relations with the Arab world, with the Gulf countries. And I also spoke about this yesterday, we always persuade our Iranian friends in conversations with them that it is necessary to refrain from striking the territory of neighboring states. Yet their response is clear. They say that we were attacked. Our children are being killed. They killed the leadership of the country. And what should we do? We are forced to respond in this way. In this sense, the situation is not easy for us. We have very good relations with Iran. We are neighbors, and with the Arab countries as well. And, frankly speaking, this puts us in a difficult situation. We keep in touch with Washington, Tehran, and Tel Aviv. I have no reason to speak of any misconceptions by Mr. Trump. He is a mature person, a very experienced politician, and it is unlikely that anyone has the opportunity to exert any external influence on him. Israel's concerns are well known. They are related to their perception that Iran is striving to create nuclear weapons, although Iran has repeatedly stated before, and now says that it has no such plans. We have no reason not to believe this, because we also have no evidence that Iran is striving to create nuclear weapons. But Israel has such concerns, and the main problem is the absence of trust between the sides. In this regard, I would like to point out that we are in contact with the Americans and the Israelis on this matter. Everyone keeps assuring us that there were random shell strikes near the station. Everyone assures us that this is an accident, and it will not happen again. I have no reason to believe that we are somehow being misled. We have talked with the Israelis many times about this, and we see their concern and their readiness to ensure the safety of the nuclear power plant in Bushehr. By the way, there is a completely different situation at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, where Ukrainian troops constantly strike at the station's disease, or recently completely have lost their heads, striking directly at the reactor. Thank God, there were no significant consequences. The reactor was not damaged, but of course, it was stopped. In general, the situation there is very dangerous. There is spent fuel and so on. If these containers are damaged, then the question is very serious. Where will these all lead? It is not at all a fact that it will cause consequences only for the Russian Federation. It may touch Europe too. Therefore, the Europeans, who encourage any actions of today's Kiev regime, should think well about this. Think about their own safety, which was unambiguously, but very accurately mentioned by the IAEA head, Mr. Grossi. Information is always disposable. Some modern control means are dual purpose. I think the Iranians, I do not know this for sure, but they could receive information not only from our satellites, but also from others, from commercial ones, which easily and simply implement this as a product on a commercial basis. As for weapons, Iran did not ask us for this, and we did not supply any weapons to Iran. Iran ensures the internal stability of its society. This is an obvious fact, and after the start of hostilities, someone in the West believed that now Iran would collapse from within. No, this analysis was a mistake, because, on the contrary, the situation that we observe is the consolidation of Iranian society. You probably are aware, I don't know. A month ago, maybe more, when the conflict just started, the first strikes took place. The Iranian leadership called out life for Iran. Within a week, 5 million people, and now more than 10, voluntarily expressed their desire to give their lives for Iran. This says a lot. The Indian Army largely uses Russian-made equipment. This has traditionally developed since Soviet Union times. Our cooperation with India, as well as with our other partners, is not subject to political conjuncture. No one can tell us, don't supply to India. No one ever tells us this. 603. We will do what we consider necessary for ourselves, and we will always fulfill our obligations to our partners, especially to such partners as India. We work in this way, according to these rules, and we will continue to do that.